Alright fam, the name is Xander or Art, and I am here to bring you the end of the year book tag, originally created by Ariel Bassett. I was tagged to do this by Sajid over at Books Are My Social Life. Both of their channels will be linked in the description down below, and you can find the questions in the description down below as well if you want to do this tag. I'm not sure if I'm going to tag anyone specifically. I might. I'll give it some thought as I do this tag. The first question is, are there any books that you started this year that you need to finish? And first, I'm going with the book I'm currently reading, and that's the Gilded Wolves. It's the Bronze Beast. It's part of the Gilded Wolves series. It's the third book in the Gilded Wolves series. I'm not very far, but I'm really enjoying it so far. And I don't know. Can't talk much about it because it's the third book in the series. But yeah, it's really good. If you don't know what the Gilded Wolves is about because you weren't here in 2018 when it was kind of popular, the back of this book in Kirkus Reviews says that it's Six of Crows meets the Da Vinci Code. I mean, I haven't read the Da Vinci Code, but I guess I can kind of see where they're coming from. And I guess me and the Six of Crows fucking comparisons. So many people wrote this book off. Not this book, but the Gilded Wolves. They wrote it off as a Six of Crows ripoff. And I was like, it's not though. It's not. And I will just forever remain bitter about that fact. Because it's so good, y'all. It's so good. I don't really want to go into it too much, because I have gone into it in detail in other videos, and also, you can look up a synopsis online if you're really interested. So, just know that it's Kirkus thinks it's Six of Crows meets the Da Vinci Code, and while that is kind of an apt comparison, so many people wrote it off as a Six of Crows ripoff that I don't like comparing it to Six of Crows anymore, because it's so much more than that. And I'm holding up just the dust jacket because the book is on my bed and I didn't feel like putting the dust jacket back on the book, so you get the dust jacket. Anyway, that was far too rambly. The other book that I started and kind of want to finish this year, but I won't be upset if I don't finish it this year, is Under the Whispering Door by T.J. Klune. This is my fancy hardback edition. That is actually it's signed. Hold on, let me show you. Ta-da! It's signed. I originally started reading this as an ARC, because I got it as an ARC from NetGalley, surprisingly. And I tried to read it before the release date, but I just wasn't really vibing with it. So I was like, I'm gonna save this for later. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm saving it for later. I don't know when later is. Maybe later in the year, maybe next year. Who knows? But eventually I will read this book. And yeah. That's a book I started this year and I haven't finished. Next is, do you have an autumnal book to transition you into the year? And not really. I mean, I guess I feel like, I get not really autumnal vibes from the Bronze Beasts, but I guess kind of. I don't think any of these books give me autumnal vibes, besides maybe The Witch King. Maybe that. Maybe Mr. Impossible? I don't know when Mr. Impossible takes place. I don't know if it's like right after Call Down the Hawk, or if it's like, I don't know. Call Down the Hawk gave me autumnal vibes, even though it came out in like November. But this one came out in like May, and I'm like, I don't know if it gives me autumnal vibes. But, so, my answer to this question is not really. And Florida doesn't even have seasons, so like, There's no autumn. There's no fall. It's just slightly less hot. So, yeah. The next one is there a new release you're still waiting for? And I don't think so. Well, kind of. Okay, so I'm pretty sure it's out, and if it isn't out, it's coming out really soon. But Summer Suns is gonna be in the Rainbow Crate box for October, and I really want to read Summer Suns because I want that Ronan Lynch wet dream in my life. So, I'm probably gonna get the Rainbow Crate box, because why not? It seems like it's gonna be cool. And so, I guess technically that could count. Because I guess maybe it does come out in October. But it's the end of September right now. So, like, even if it came out in October, it could come out, like, next Tuesday. And that'd be October. So, anyway, I guess the answer is yes. I'm still waiting on Summer Suns to come out. Or at least come out in the book box that I want to buy it in. So, anyway, I guess that is the answer to this question. I don't really have any other books that I can think of. The rest of the other books have either come out already, or I'm not looking forward to them, so. Next is, what are 3 books that you want to finish by the end of the year? Honestly, this whole stack right here behind me, I want to finish those books by the end of the year. Will I finish those books by the end of the year? No. I don't think I will. But let's pick out 3. Okay, so I've picked out 3. And one was actually behind me, so you couldn't actually see it. And that is, it doesn't have a title because I flipped the cover around because the cover is hideous. It's A Lesson in Vengeance. This is the terrible Owl Crate cover that it came with. Look at how bad that is. Just look at how bad that is. It's so bad. So I just changed it around to the art that's on the back. Or on the reverse side. Voodoo, yep. So, anyway, it's pretty cool. It has like a tarot card for one character, and then the other character's on the back, and then it has A Lesson in Vengeance on the spine. So, also, the sprayed edges are like silvery and metallic-y, so that's pretty cool. And then it has quotes on the flaps, so I think that is also pretty cool. But honestly, I should have just bought the original. Because the original has a banging cover. This one does not. Owl Crate, like, obviously I canceled my subscription after they did that whole transphobic Harry Potter bullshit. Even though they apologized, I still canceled it. But I'd already paid for August, and I wanted A Lesson in Vengeance, so I got it. I mean, I got this tin. This White London tin, which is pretty cool. It matches my Grey London tin that I have up there that you can't see. But other than that, I think I got some tea. I got some tea that I really like. Other than that, though, I got like a Secret History bookmark that I'm never going to use. Because one, it's too fragile to use as a bookmark, and two, it's the Secret History. And I got a little thing of like book note-taking thingamajigs, and I don't take notes in my books, so kind of useless. But it did come with a cool pen. The pen is cool, I will admit that. I've been using the pen. But anyway, A Lesson in Vengeance is a book that I want to read by the end of the year, because it was one of my most anticipated releases of the year, because Victoria Lee is one of my favorite authors, because they wrote The Fever King. So, A Lesson in Vengeance. Next, I have picked out Meet Cute Diary, which I believe is also, I didn't show you the signed part of A Lesson in Vengeance, but I believe this is also signed. Yes, it is, and it's personalized. I forgot about that. Oh my god. It says, "To Xander, go make your happily ever after." And then it's signed. It's so cool. I didn't explain the plot of A Lesson in Vengeance at all. So I'm not going to explain the plot of Meet Cute Diary at all, because why? You can look up a synopsis if you're really interested. The point of this video is not to get you to go read these books. So, anyway, I know I said, like, what the Bronze Beast and the Gilded Wolves was about, but then I realized, hey, we don't need to do this. Let's not do this. So we're not doing it. And so, yeah, A Lesson in Vengeance, Meet Cute Diary, which I forgot was personalized. I love it a lot now, and I really want to read it. And then finally we have The Witch King. I picked this one because, it has, like, I know it has, trans rep in it. I know the main character is a trans guy. And I know it deals with, like, fae, I think. But yeah, I've just heard nothing but great things about this, and, I actually was sent this lovely copy by my friend Audrey over at Perpetual Pages. And I was like, yes, I will read it, and then I have not read it. But yeah, so I really want to read this because it was a gift, and I know that they love it. I know that everybody else I know that has read it has loved it, so I really want to read it. And the next question is there a book you think could still shock you and become your favorite book of the year? Now, I'm gonna be honest, any of the 3 books that I just held up could shock me and become my favorite book of the year. Right now, my favorite book of the year is not a book, it is a series. It is the Magic in Manhattan series. And I don't know which out of those that I would pick for my favorite. I'd have to do a reread, and I'm not gonna do that right now. Because I have so many other books that I need to read. But, yeah, so, honestly, any of those 3 books, if I get to any of these books, those could also shock me and become a favorite. If I get to any of these books, they could probably also shock me and become a favorite. So anyway, we have a lot of options. It's just depending on what I actually read. And the last question is, have you already started making reading plans for 2022? And the answer to that is no. I don't even know what my reading goal is gonna be next year. Cause, like, I was super ambitious this year. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna make my Goodreads goal 50 books. Have I read 50 books? No. I know it's not the end of the year yet, and I know my reading spreadsheet says I'm 66% of the way done, but still. I don't know if I'm going to make it, but we shall see. But yeah, that's really all I got. My comment question of the day is, what is one book that you really, really want to get to by the end of the year that you haven't started yet? So, emoji-wise, if you just want to leave me an emoji to tell me that you watched until the end, and help my engagement, that'd be appreciative. You can use literally any animal that you consider a beast. Like, it doesn't have to be a specific animal. I'm not going to give you a specific animal, but a beast of some sort. So, like, I don't really consider birds beasts, so I wouldn't pick a bird emoji. But I'll leave it up to your discretion. If you want to pick a really frightening bird, pick a frightening bird. But that's all I got for you guys today. You may see my hoodie and be like, ooh, that's a new hoodie, isn't it? And yes, it is. So it is, in fact, a Weathers hoodie. So it says Weathers on the front here. And you may have been like, what's on the sleeve? I can see something's on the sleeve. I don't know if you can see it very well, but it says Talking is Hard. It's one of their songs, and it's also just a mood. So, I bought it when I went to their concert on Sunday, and it was really lit. I got a poster that is signed, and I also got a little, like, VIP lanyard thing that's signed. And then I got to ask them if they read any books. And they were like, I mean, kind of, but not a lot. And I was like, that's valid. One was like, I'm listening to an audiobook. And I was like, audiobooks are great. So, you know, I got to ask that. It was fun. And the concert itself was amazing. But anyway, that's all I got for you guys today. I really just wanted to show off the hoodie at the end. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one.